we don't tend to limit in this country. We don't say, well, you can afford to pay for your public school, you should pay for it. I mean, we kind of do that by making them purchase a very expensive mortgage in some very high-performing school districts.
New at 5 o'clock, advocates of Ohio's school voucher system say even families with high incomes deserve taxpayer support for private schools, and they will get it in the new Ohio budget. That contains more than $700 million for vouchers that will go to private and parochial schools.
Now, just last week, a Franklin County judge declared EdChoice vouchers to be unconstitutional, but the order was delayed pending an appeal. Our Colleen Marshall sat down with leaders of both sides of the voucher debate.
You know, both sides are convinced they have the best interest of students at heart. In nearly a third of all public school districts in the state, they're part of a lawsuit challenging vouchers and claiming they are unconstitutional. But EdChoice supporters, backed by Republican lawmakers, say tax dollars should follow students right into private school classrooms. In 2024, the state of Ohio spent nearly $1 billion on private school vouchers. Leaders of School Choice Ohio say money well spent, giving parents and students options.
We place children in private schools using EdChoice. We find options in public schools that work best for them. So we're kind of agnostic about where people go to school, but we do believe that they should have the ability to take their tax dollars and go to a school of their choice, whether it's a private or a public school.
The only difference really is who pays for it. You know, Ohio went very successfully for a century with great private schools and great public schools. And it's really only been about the past 20 years that the private schools have begun to expect their neighbors, citizens from around the state, to underwrite their decision to send their children to a private school.
Dan Heinz is a teacher and Cleveland Heights School Board member who is part of the Vouchers Hurt Ohio group suing the state. Their first victory came in Franklin County Common Pleas Court.
The why not is the Ohio State Constitution. And that's what we saw Judge Page here in Franklin County decide this week when she ruled that EdChoice vouchers are a violation of the state constitution.
Judge Jiza Page ruled lawmakers are violating the Constitution by creating a second system of schools that receive an unreasonably high level of per-student tax dollars. Critics also point out that vouchers were promised first to pull poor students out of underperforming districts, but they often go now to affluent families in high-ranking public school districts who never intended to send their children to public school.
There are kids that thrive in really what we would call poor-performing schools, and there are kids that really struggle in what we would consider to be objectively excellent schools. And so putting the parents in the driver's seat, ultimately we think will get better outcomes.
And for now, parochial and private schools will continue to get tax dollars. That's because, of course, the vouchers are in the budget signed by Governor DeWine this week. The state is poised to appeal the finding in Franklin County Common Pleas Court that the vouchers are against the Ohio Constitution. And it is expected that that case will go all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court, where Republicans hold all but one seat. My entire conversation with Yitz Frank and Dan Heinz can be seen this Sunday morning at 10 on the Spectrum.